Hey everyone, just wanted to give a happy birthday update to you all. Sorry, that's just my cat Dillinger. And I know my birthday's already been like 3 days ago, but just to show you, but I wanted to show you guys what I got from my birthday. And these two ones are very special. And you probably wonder to yourself, what's the new project I'm going to be working on? If you guys take a look at the community tab on my channel, let's just say it's in Japanese. Well, the title is in Japanese, but let's just say it was inspired by 4 of some of my multiple inspirations, and that is the Great Yokai War, Yokai Monster Spook Warfare, 1 million years BC, and When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth. Those are the only inspirations of... Oh, and the Crudes. Those are the only inspirations I'm going to give out, and feel free to guess in the comments. Now, one of the gifts I bought was a book, but not just any book. It is a book this book, I was inspired to get this book by Dino Diego. And Dino Diego is for those of you who don't know, Dino Diego is a YouTuber that specializes in dinosaurs in media, such as, well, media like in the video games, movies, literature. He even reviews some of them, and you name it. And one of the books he reviewed with dinosaurs in it was a book that has a bit of alternative and speculative evolution in it. And that is West of Eden by Harry Harrison. And I want to thank Dougal Dixon for inspiring me to get into this book. I haven't read it yet, but I did take a look at some of the sneak peeks in the book. And this book went through a long history, but if you guys want to check out the history behind it, I left the link in the description down below. And as you can see, and here's a fun fact, this book was originally going to be into a movie because apparently Russia is a huge fan of this book, and they even contacted Harry Harrison to turn the movie into a motion picture. Unfortunately, that didn't go through, and apparently the project got canceled completely. But if you look in the back, you could see it's got a little. But if you look in the back, you can see a little bit of Clan of the Caveman, Cave Bear in there. Clan of the Cave Bear. I said caveman, and you can actually see. Now, I'm not gonna go full on the book, but I am gonna show you. But I am going to show you but I am going to tell you what I learned from it. Now, the book is basically synopsis is this: what would happen if the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs missed Earth completely? Basically, the opening from The Good Dinosaur, and from that result, the dinosaurs still continue to live on, but the mammals continue to thrive in the Western Hemisphere. Basically, in Africa, old world monkeys evolved into us, basically like Australopithecus and stuff like that. But with the dinosaurs no longer wiped out, new intelligent beings took over, known as the Alane. He took over Africa, which is now called Entoban. But in the new world, a new race of intelligent, well, caveman-esque beings that live in the modern world, which is what the book is set in, took over the Western Hemisphere, and that is the Tanu. As you can see from the inside of the book, it is absolutely beautiful illustration. Here in the left, you have the Tanu. Have a Tanu in with front of a mastodon and a saber-toothed cat, which in the book it's actually a marsupial. More on that later. And in the distance, you can see a couple of woolly rhinos in the background, which is a nice touch. And here's the map. Now this part right here, known as Gandasi, is actually North America in our world. As you can see there, I think this part up here is actually Canada. This part is America, and that's Florida, which is where the Alane set it in. I mean, we got alligators. That would make sense. And there is Entobon, which is Africa. And over here on the right, you have the Alane itself. The Alane are descended from Tylosaurs, which is a type of mosasaur. And what they're holding is called a Hazotsan, which is a living weapon, basically a monitor lizard that is convergently evolved into something that resembles a spear / blow dart gun. And in the distance, you see we see pteranodons, and there's a really cool looking T-Rex right there in the bushes. And over here, we have 2 Triceratopses grazing. So yeah, that's what you're basically going to be in for when you get this book. Look. And overall, it is a really amazing, it is a really good read, really incredible. Now, and apparently the Tanu are descended from New World monkeys instead of old, which is also very interesting. And the cover of the book is also really well illustrated. Even here we see the Tanu and a mastodon, except it looks more like a woolly mammoth than anything. This is what a mastodon looks like. I guess they couldn't tell the difference. I mean, Power Rangers and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much the rest of the book. And if you guys, and you guys should really get into this book. It is really good. I heard it's really good, and you know what? I might read this myself one day when I have the chance. Now let's put that aside, and now let's get to the main one. Now last year I already showed you my Hammond Collection T-Rex. This big girl right here. Now, what if I told you that I actually got another Hammond Collection and Classic, and this one was originally going to be in the Lost World Jurassic Park, but it was canceled. But it was removed. But it was removed. More on that later. Well, what if I told you that I got it right here? The Lost World Jurassic Park Hammond Collection Geosternbergia. Now, for those who don't know what Geosternbergia is, it is a type of pterosaur that is somewhat closely related to Pteranodon, and originally this pterosaur was called Pteranodon geosternbergi. But it's revealed. I don't know why they changed the name to something else. I guess they discovered that it's a different species rather than a variant, but it's still really cool. And here's another fun fact: this pterosaur was actually in the arcade video game of the Lost World Jurassic Park as an enemy, and that's basically all there is. Maybe all there is the design on the Geosternbergia is really good, although it's not accurate, but it's still good either way. Now, I first got introduced to this pterosaur from my first dinosaur movie I've ever watched, Disney's Dinosaur. And in that movie, there was a Geosternbergia, except there was called Pteranodon sternbergi in that movie. And in that movie, the pterosaur grabbed the egg out of the water, Aladar's egg specifically, and right before it was going to take it to its young, a couple of ichthyornises pester it to drop causing the mother to drop the egg, and well, the lemurs found it, and you know the rest. The pterosaur, although it wasn't very familiar to me, I still think it was a really cool. A variation overall. The crest is a very unique shape, and I'm assuming that this is supposed to be mostly on the males, while the females don't even have crests. Only have like tiny crests. So, I mean, Prehistoric Planet proved it to me when a male, this guy, it looks like a female. Weird. But hey, that's nature.
The more you know.
So, let's take a look at the package itself. As you can see, Jurassic Park 30th anniversary. It's kind of the same thing as the T-Rex one, but it's different. But the pterosaurs inside, Geosternbergia, and the bottom part are Universal and Emblem Entertainment. And there's the Geosternbergia in front, the Lost World Jurassic Park here, and finally here's the back in full detail. Hammond Collection logo, rest in peace, and that's pretty much it. So, without further ado, let's get it out of the package. Give me a minute. Oh man. Oh well. Alright. Slowly. What the? It's a plastic part on top. Got it. Ow. Well, that was easy. Let's put it to the side. And let's get it out. Ooh. Give me a minute.
12 seconds later.
Well, got it out of the packaging. And here he is. I'm going to call it a he because, well, the crest. So, here he is. In all his glory. I mean, he ain't no Rodan planet, but it's still gorgeous to look at. I mean, the paint is really good. I also love I love the design he's got here. Very reminiscent of his concept and video game counterpart. And the incredible amount of articulation on him is also really good. You can't get that much articulation in pterosaur figures like this. I mean, you can, but I mean, there's a lot of hard-earned money for this. Let's take a look at the sculpt. Starting with the head, and he got a nice, beautifully yellow-colored beak, the brown dirt color on the base of on the tip of the beak, and that gorgeous-looking crest. And that gorgeous-looking crest is I'm telling you, it's like a reverse pompadour. The blue, I love the gorgeous blue it's got on the head, the neck, and the back here. The only downside is I really wish but okay, well, but now that I look at it up close, I could see the blue ending with the white there, which I really wish they blended that in together with the rest. But it's not that a big deal. Lovely orange brownish eyes it's got here. Very, very, very lifelike. I also love the shine, and it's got reflecting on the light. That's a nice touch. And of course, the mouth can open, and the inside's not painted, but okay, well, the tongue and the inside of the mouth, the inside here is painted, but the rest of it is, but it's okay. Also, they managed to paint in the opening, so when it's open, it doesn't show like the bottom part here, or when it open, which is a nice touch. So onto the body, we have a brown mixed with an eggshell, a whitish color, or I think it's beige. It's a nice contrast as the legs and the tail. The legs and the tail is tiny and stiff. The feet are also the legs are also really well articulated too, and the toes are charcoal black, and the wings are just as gorgeous. The finger membrane is, I think, is a little too thick, but I can kind of see why they did it. They did it because the wire was because they needed to put it in for the wire for the flexibility. I can forgive that. The wings are a dark yellow with a dark burnt yellow with a burnt mustard yellow with faded brown stripes, and that really goes well all overall. Same goes for the other side, and there's the blue going down the back. And finally, the Jurassic Park logo right in its membrane. I mean, I know this is weird, but I kind of miss the JP. I mean, Hasbro kind of ruined it with the JW motif with how terrible their figures were. But at least they tried. I mean, they kind of tried. But Mattel really managed to get it working. I mean, they made He-Man and Barbie, for crying out loud. Now let's take a look at the articulation. As you can see, the mouth open and closes. This can open really wide too, but that'll just ruin the thing. I recommend this. Blurriness. This, which is good. For some reason, my figure's jaw is a little warped, but I'm sure it's not a big deal if you fix it a little. The head can move up and down. Head can move up and down on a ball joint, on a hinge joint, and it's a swivel. A swivel here. Jobby the Hong. But the hinge kind of isn't painted right here, but it's no big deal. Oh, the neck can move only this high up and this far down. Well, I guess that's fit. I guess that's far enough. And the body has no articulation here whatsoever, which I guess makes sense. The legs have it's on a swivel, but it's also on a hinge joint, which is good. A swivel here. A swivel here. And it's a hinge joint on the leg, and I don't know if it's supposed to go like this or like this, but it has that bump here, which I don't know if it's supposed to be like where the leg is, or if it's supposed to be like one of those legs or whatever. And the foot can bend this far back and this forward, and it's a swivel. Yeah. And finally, the wings. The wings are on a hinge joint, and it's connected to the body, which is a nice touch. It can move this far up, and I can move that far and that far down. Neat. And now let's take a look at the articulation. Not a bendy. That's weird. I thought it would be a bendy wire, but gotta be careful with that. Ooh, the finger's on a bendy wire, which, I was on a bendy wire, which, and I wonder if I can, now the feet are on hinge joints and on a ball joint, and on a ball and swivel joint, which is cool, but I'm worried I feel like it's too fragile, which it might snap, but I guess I'll have to be careful on that one. Ooh. That did not, okay, I'm glad that didn't break, but gotta be more careful with that. And like that, and just a little bit on the feet, And yeah. Kind of. Close enough. So yeah. That's the Geosternbergia. That's the Geosternbergia. And for size comparison, here's it next to the T-Rex. And they're pretty good scale in one another. And you know what? This little lady's gonna be called Roberta. I'm gonna call this one Dandy. Sometimes it's hard being a pterosaur, baby. Yeah, I think you can get the reference on that one. He also voiced Brooke from One Piece, and Lizard from Africa Salaryman, which is one of my favorite animes. So yeah, that's all there is to it. And don't worry, my project is still gonna be made, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little update. And there's gonna be another update coming in soon. And I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you guys later, and I'll send you more updates of the project soon. Peace.